Okay, this is the second try to go from Roatán to Mexico. I already tried 2 days ago and I'd already lifted up the anchor and risen the main, and I was heading out of the bay and I got a little alarm signal and figured out that my alternator was charging too high. Well, it was kind of fluctuating. It's the same what I've been doing when we left Guatemala, but because we'd found this loose connection and it was working for 2 weeks, I thought the problem was actually fixed. So dropped the anchor, dropped the sail, and I was kind of investigating for a day or so, like taking measurements and trying different stuff and looking at all the connections and this and that. Got the alternator checked, and it's what I was dreading that it was. It was a regulator that was not working anymore. So I had to order one from San Pedro Sula, from the mainland. Good thing is that it was really fast. It came the same day, and I could pick the alternator up the next day. It was quite expensive though, but we'll see. So far it seems a beautiful day, and I'm gonna head out now. Fingers crossed. Well, I'm on my way. I actually wanted to go around the east side because I was closer to the east, but the wind was coming northeast and I was going to go northeast, so that didn't work out very well. So now I'm just heading for the south end. And instead of having the wind on my nose, I have it right in the back, which is always a bit of a struggle too. It's nice out here, so I'm just gonna enjoy. I found a really good thing. Maria told me to drink agua de coco, coconut water, and that seems to be working fine. And I had a good lunch, so fingers crossed. Maybe I guess better check what it is. Maybe a big cruise ship. Underneath my main boom, and I was just filming around a little bit, and I'm just lying here watching the stars. And I know, I mean, there's not a lot of wind, but then the thing is, I don't know. Not on any of my other solo trips, I was able to like just hang out like this and just enjoy the moment.
is real low, and the wind is quite low too. Not very fast. We're doing like 3.2 knots, and I guess one of those knots is probably current too. But going the right way. Right now it's pretty good. We're doing pretty much north and 5 knots, so that's great. So yeah, during the day I wanted to start the engine because I wanted to load the batteries a little bit, but I was tilting so much and I didn't have that much diesel in my tank that the engine went out again. So I had to go and, oh, excuse me, I had to go and vent the system, which is always great, obviously. You know, just playing around with diesel in the engine room. But I got it going and then charged the batteries a little bit. And I had a little friend come and visit me. I have a little, he's sitting up there actually, it's a little sparrow. And he's so cute. He came and first he was like staying outside, and then you know, he moved further and then he noticed it was really nice and calm underneath the dodger. And he's just checking out stuff. I tried to give him a little bit of crackers, but he wasn't so interested. And then, in the process of finding where he wanted to sit, obviously I didn't catch that on camera, but he flew over. I had a cup in my hand, and he flew over and he sat on my little cup. He just sat there like, and he with his tail he brushed my hand, like really just very short second or something, and then he took off again, but it was so sweet. It was really sweet. As usual, Mr. Sloth is a great help. Just hanging out. Looks like a little bit of rain. Whoa, the wind has picked up a fair bit. It was supposed to be like 10 now, but I think it's like, I don't know, 25? We're doing 6 knots with like 2 reefs and small Genoa. More windy than I thought it would be. Okay, better sail. It is day number 5 at sea now. It wasn't planned like that, but yeah, this is the longest time I've ever been at sea, I think. Well, I was fighting a bit against the wind because the wind was more from the north than predicted and expected, and Kyle was doing a really bad angle, really bad tacking angle as well. So I was out there tacking along for quite a while, and the second and the third night were really bad weather too, very squally, lots of rain, lots of wind. And then yesterday I was getting a bit frustrated because it was just taking so long, and I was nearly tacking It was taking like 160 degrees because the waves weren't coming with the wind but more easterly, so they're pushing me off the course. Well, but then in the end I decided just to do a really, really long tack out, and just to once, because I knew that sometime at night the wind would change to east, so I went all the way back or out, and then I tacked, and the winds did come back to the east, and since then I'm on a pretty northerly course, and we're doing around 6 knots. The only problem is we're probably going to arrive at night, but there's some bad weather coming, so we better hurry up.
The last day of the passage was the fastest I'd ever done with Carl. We did a good 100 miles in 16 hours. It was quite windy and quite rainy, but we were really pushing it because I wanted to arrive before sunset. It was just a really great sailing day because I was doing 7-8 knots most of the time, and Carl was just pacing through the waves. It was incredible, and it was great because the days before had been on and off, but a little bit frustrating as well because I was tacking and I couldn't really go the direction I wanted to go. So it was just beautiful to have these last 16 hours racing and finally making it into port just with the sun coming down. And when a passage ends with a sail like that, you forget about all the other little things that might have been annoying before. In the end, I think we covered around 400 nautical miles with all the tacking going on, and I was at sea for 4 nights and 5 days. All in all, Carl did super well on this passage, except for the tacking angle. And I can't wait to explore Isla Mujeres and meet my friend Maria and her parents, who are waiting for me over there in the anchorage. But more about that next week.